In a world filled with dark visions of the future, Solarpunk offers an alternative vision, one of resilience, cooperation, and harmony with nature. It is a genre that moves beyond dystopian cynicism, towards the ideals of the dreamer, the builder, and hope. So today, let's consider this genre that speaks to the challenges of our time. This is Solarpunk, the philosophy of the dreamer. At the heart of Solarpunk is a simple idea that technology can enhance our connection with nature rather than destroy it. Technology in these future imagined worlds is advanced, but it exists in societies that prioritize sustainability, decentralization, and justice. Solarpunk characters, scientists, artists, engineers, and activists are the ones who push for restoration and community-driven change, overcoming the challenges of environmental destruction, war, and other human-made disasters. They act as visionaries and builders, demonstrating that even in the face of an environmental crisis, a future with nature is possible. But before we explore these themes, let's consider the history of the genre. In some ways, Solarpunk began in the 1970s, when the environmental movement gained widespread media attention. The oil crisis, pollution disasters, and climate debate fueled a growing awareness of humanity's impact on the planet. The extinction of animals, in particular, along with the harm to the ozone layer, pushed the idea that humans were having some tangible impact on the world around them. Science fiction in the 70s often focused on dystopian consequences of these human actions, whether that be ecological ruin, corporate dominance, or even nuclear war. But alongside these bleak visions, a quieter movement was brewing, one that imagined a future where humanity could live in balance with the Earth. The 1980s and 90s saw the rise of cyberpunk, which examined how unchecked corporate power and technology could lead to inequality, environmental collapse, and alienation. I've covered cyberpunk in a previous video, which you can find on my channel. However, cyberpunk rarely presented solutions. It warned us of the problems but left the rebellion in a morally grey area. By contrast, Solarpunk emerged as a response to this genre, offering not only a critique but a blueprint for a better world. The term Solarpunk was coined in 2008 in a blog post titled From Steam to Solarpunk, where an anonymous writer discussed the MS Beluga Sky Sails, the world's first ship partially powered by computer-controlled kites. The word itself blends solar, symbolizing renewable energy and environmental awareness, with punk, representing resistance to oppressive systems and a commitment to grassroots change. A year later, literary publicist Matt Staggs introduced the Green Punk Manifesto, which shared similar ideas. He envisioned Green Punk as a movement emphasizing individual agency in fostering ecological and social change, rejecting steampunk's romanticism while embracing its appreciation for accessible technology. He described it as a world where consumer culture is reclaimed by the masses to restore the environment and address societal challenges. In 2014, the visual artist Olivia Lewis expanded on these ideas through artwork shared on Tumblr, shaping the aesthetic foundation of Solarpunk beyond just literature. She imagined a future inspired by updated Art Nouveau, Victorian and Edwardian designs, infused with sustainable energy, technological literacy, and a revival of artisanal arts and crafts type movements. In part of this, she envisioned natural colours and Art Nouveau, handcrafted goods and skilled artisans, streetcars, airships, stained glass panels, education for children in technology and food cultivation, small businesses, green roofs, communal gardens, and renewable cities, walkable streets lined with independent shops, and a blend of sustainability, technology, and awe-inspiring design. Through these ideas, Solarpunk offers more than just an aesthetic, however. It proposes a tangible, optimistic alternative to dystopian futures. advocating for a world of coexistence between technology and nature. The rise of solarpunk writing in the 2010s. By the 2010s, a new wave of writers and artists grew increasingly frustrated with dystopian science fiction's fixation on inevitable collapse, particularly a backlash against cyberpunk, steampunk, and these kind of genres. Authors like Becky, Stanley, and Cory, Doctorow began imagining futures where humanity worked to heal the planet rather than exploit it. Their stories, soon recognized as part of this solarpunk genre, blended themes of renewable energy, grassroots rebellion, challenging corporate power, and political stagnation with visions of system change. Kim Stanley Robinson's The Ministry for the Future embodies many of these early ideals. Set in the near future, the novel follows a global effort to combat climate change through technological innovation, policy reform, and activism. Instead of merely depicting catastrophe, however, it presents viable solutions, reinforcing the belief that large-scale change is not only necessary but achievable through collective action. Cory Doctorow's The Lost Cause covers similar themes. Set 3 decades in the future, it follows the romance of 2 young activists amidst an era of sweeping change. Massive clean energy projects are thriving, disaster relief efforts are widespread, and millions are trained to mitigate floods and superstorms with new technology. Another example is Becky Chambers' A Psalm for the Wild Built, which explores a solarpunk future from a quieter, more philosophical angle. Set in a world where humanity has chosen a sustainable path, the story follows a teen monk who embarks on a journey of self-discovery, only to encounter a sentient robot, one of many that retreated into the wilderness centuries ago. The novel considers the themes of balance, curiosity, and the search for meaning in a world that has learned to live in harmony with nature. Solarpunk's appeal is more than just its green technology, however. It's the philosophy of the dreamer that drives the genre. In a world where the future seems bleak, solarpunk turns to visionaries, idealists, and rebels, not because they have the answers, but because they refuse to stop searching for them. The aesthetics of the solarpunk world. In visual media, solarpunk is defined by a blend of nature and technology, where green roofs, solar panels, and vertical gardens dominate city skylines. One of the most iconic representations of solarpunk aesthetics in film, relatively early on, is considered to be Hayao Miyazaki's Nausicaä of the Valley of the Wind. Though predating the solarpunk label itself, it embodies various images that have come to define the genre. It's a post-apocalyptic world where nature is reclaiming itself, and the protagonist, Nausicaä, seeks harmony rather than domination over the environment. Miyazaki's later works, such as Castle in the Sky and My Neighbor Totoro, further explore themes of ecological balance, decentralized communities, and technology reclamation. The genre has had a significant impact as part of a broader architectural movement that embraces the mixture of nature with man-made forms. At present, the closest thing stylistically might be Singapore's Garden City, a political initiative introduced by Lee Kuan Yew in 1967 to transform the dense city into an urban environment brimming with greenery. In recent years, Singaporean architecture has produced dozens of these stunning projects. The Super Tree Groves, the Cloud Fountain, the Jewel Changi Airport, and the Marina Bay Sands are a few of the prominent examples. These projects regularly make waves on the Solarpunk Reddit forum and other places to varying degrees of approval. And some have offered praise for the city with the slogan, "Singapore minus cars is Solarpunk." Other examples include cities with green walls and vertical gardens and skyscrapers, a growing movement in itself. In Sydney, Central Park emerges as a unique space in the city centre with these vertical gardens that were some of the first in the world. Green wall systems provide organic shading. Less heat is reflected, in turn reducing urban temperatures. It provides energy efficiency and savings due to its thermal insulation, reducing energy consumption for cooling. It also emits oxygen, absorbs CO2, and captures particles of pollution, which improves air quality in cities. Solarpunk as a genre has faced its fair share of criticism. Chief amongst these is the accusation that it is idealistic, that it paints an unrealistic picture of what is possible in the face of corporate greed and political inertia. Some argue that it underestimates the difficulty of systemic change, offering a vision that feels more like wishful thinking than a real path forward. Yet this criticism misses the point a little bit. Solarpunk is not about claiming the future will be easy, it is about insisting that a better world is worth striving for. It rejects the idea that dystopia is our only fate and challenges us to envision different kinds of futures and different possibilities beyond what are usually reflected in science fiction movies. Unlike cyberpunk, which embraces cynicism, Solarpunk acknowledges hardship while refusing to give in. It reminds us that rebellion is not just about tearing systems down, it is about building something better in its place.